Well, hello, my fabulous friends. I hope you're doing well. Well, it's been a pretty somber day. It hasn't even been 24 hours, and everybody's still um, talking about Charlie Kirk and the terrible, terrible turn of events in his life. Gunned down at 31, left a wife and two small children who probably will, I hope his oldest daughter will remember him. His youngest is just over one. He would have been 32 in October. So many questions are swirling around what's going on. As I've explained before, I do not bother people shortly after they have transitioned. They are busy. He is probably still wondering what's going on. As I understand it, some of the adepts teach that if you have a sudden, unexpected passing, sometimes it can take up to 3 days to realize that you have passed. So that might be happening right now. Plus, he's with his wife and his children. He doesn't want some tarot card reader on YouTube bothering him. If you do see anybody who say they're channeling him or talking to him, it's not him. I'm going to tell you that right now. It takes at least 3 days to realize that you have passed. That's why a lot of Christian burials don't happen for 3 days afterwards. You have the wake, and you have the wake and with body viewing, and that is, the old tenet of letting the person see their body there to help them realize they have transitioned. There's a lot of really deep nuances in a passing in a Christian world, and then the body's not buried until 3 days later. And the same thing goes with cremation. If you want to do a cremation, wait at least 3 days. If not, don't worry about it. I mean, I don't want you to fret if you're like, oh my goodness, we did, grandma was cremated right away. Don't worry about it. Don't fret. So I'm going to ask the circumstances surrounding the situation that happened. Specifically, are they going to find the person or persons or entity that is responsible? All right. There's a lot of weird things going on. Apparently, there were two people standing behind him that made really strange hand signals, like really strange hand signals. And the one was holding up, it looked like his phone, but perhaps it was like a target because he moved it over to the side. Go watch it. I posted it on my X. And he touched his hat, he touched his arm, and then he moved his phone over to the side as if he was giving the sniper direction. If you play curling, you know exactly what I mean. You tap your target, and then you move your broom off to the side so that the curling, you aim for where the broom is, not where the target is, and you put the spin on. So is that the same with long distance sniper? I have no idea, but it was really strange. And another fellow did the same kind of arm signals. Like they were signals that you would see at a football game, a coach giving directions, someone on the sidelines giving directions to the player on the field without speaking. Also, there was a plane that took off immediately. Well, would have been enough time to, after the shots were fired, to drive to the airport 5 miles away, get on a private plane, and then leave. And by the time they got to the border between Arizona and Utah, they illegally turned off their radar. They were off radar for an hour, and then they returned back to the airport. So was that the assailant? Anyways, he was definitely not acting alone. A lot of people in the military and intel agencies say this wasn't a disgruntled, angry person. They said this has all the hallmarks of a coordinated hit. So let's ask the after tarot, because we're talking about the events afterwards. What are the chances that they are going to catch the perpetrator? And so I'm going to do my crime one where I use Charlie will be the emperor, and then we'll do 25 cards. And we'll see. Sorry, I'm still kind of scattered from all of this. I'm God. He wasn't a politician. All he had was an opinion. And can we be executed because we have an opinion? There was nothing, he wasn't, he was very well spoken. I don't know. I think this has shooken up a lot of people, not just me. There's the Emperor, and then I need the the Ace of Swords. I probably passed it already because I'm all shook up. I don't know. I feel for his parents, right? I feel for his parents. I feel for his wife, for his children. There it is. It was right there, the first one. Okay, so do you remember how we do this? So we're going to put out 25 cards. This is going to be really squishy, but it will get the feeling for it. And the Ace of Swords is, will we ever discover the truth? Will we ever discover the truth? Will we ever discover the truth of the death of Charlie Kirk? Will we ever discover the truth for the death of Charlie Kirk? And when? And when? Okay, one. Okay, so as you know, I have no rhyme or reason how I count these, but we need 23. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Oh, don't get it mixed up. 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Okay, these ones are not in play. And now we shuffle these ones all together. Will we ever discover the perpetrator or perpetrators of who assassinated Charlie Kirk? Will we discover the truth? I want to see how close the Ace of Swords is to the Emperor. Remember, the Emperor represents Charlie. The Ace of Swords represents the truth. If the Ace of Swords is far from the Emperor, then we'll never discover the truth. Even if they do arrest somebody, doesn't necessarily mean that's the truth, right? We've seen that before. Okay. Cards are ready. Ooh, truth came out right at the first. Wow, that was interesting. 1, 2, there's his death. 3, 4, 5. Wow, look at that. Smack him on the head. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This was definitely strategy. There he is. All right. He's right under the 4 of Cups. Sorry, I've got to squish these in. Let me... Missing. there's the... Oh, why am I missing one? I thought I counted. Weird, weird, weird. Queen of Swords. No, we are never going to find out the truth. I'm going to tell you why. The truth is here, but the Queen of Swords here is the last card. The truth is, nobody's really interested in the truth with this Four of Cups here. Nobody's fighting for the truth. They're going to just say, we've already know who it is. We're going to slay those dragons. And I think that I don't think they're interested in finding the truth. I think somebody was paid. There was a strategy here. Somebody was paid. He'll be forever missed. Absolutely forever missed. His words are going to actually create, his words will live on. I'm going to say that we are actually going to try and figure out who it is. There'll be a lot of spin doctoring. Oh yeah, see? We're going to try and figure out, we're going to try and expose who it is. We're going to try and expose all the secrets. But there's going to be a lot of spin doctoring going on about that. I'm going to say that some people are going to figure out the truth, but it'll never get out, ever. There'll be a concerted effort to keep it quiet. And, let's see. And I'm not seeing anybody ever going to court over this. We got 2 5s here in the corners, and I'm going to say that they don't want to know who it is. Somebody got paid. I think this person has left already with this 6 of Swords here under the Death and the 8 of Cups. They've already left the country. I think they're in somewhere sunny and cloaked. They're already in a disguise. So if we're looking for a white man, it'd be a black man. If we're looking for a black man, it'd be a white man. It like wearing masks and stuff. They aren't stupid enough to show their real face. I'm going to say that the actual person who did it is no longer in the United States. They are somewhere sunny and they're already veiled. They're already veiled. People are definitely going to figure out what's going on. I actually see some people being shut up forever over this. More people. It's almost like the more you look into it, either they're going to destroy you or they're actually going to attack you. I think the person who did it is gone already. They've left. They're in a sunny place right now under disguise. I think whoever did it is not American. I think whoever did it got paid. I think this was a strategy. hear me out. I'm not implying anything here, but hear me out. I think the attacker was from the Middle East. And I think that's why I think they are gone again. I'm wondering if that plane flew to Mexico, dropped them off, and then flew back. Because they shut their radar off. And they were heading south. Once they got to the Arizona border, they illegally shut their radar off. And that's why I'm saying I think this person is in Mexico, underveiled. I think he's going to travel again. He'll never be caught. If they do arrest somebody, it's not this fellow. He'll never be caught. He'll never seek to. This card would be upright, the Queen of Swords, if he got his due diligence. And why am I saying Middle East? Because the Knight of Wands here is in reverse, and that's the attack. That's the military attack. This person has a military background. And here he is never getting caught. This is actually Charlie as well, with the Emperor here. He was a journalist. And I often say, attacking with words. Knight of Swords here. And so he said something to somebody who didn't like it. This was the strategy. And then here's the Knight of Wands in reverse. This is in and out. Get the job done and get out. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. I think his poor family, nobody will ever be charged. Well, if, like I said, if they are, I don't think it's the person. If they are, they're the scapegoat, the fall guy, like in JFK. Be careful what you listen to about this. There's lots of spin doctoring going on. No, this guy's definitely out of the country. Here he is too, flying away overseas. Here, this is also a travel card. Interesting, this 4 has a scythe on it like that. Right beside the Death card and the Tower card. Interesting, this Tower card actually hits the middle. Most Tower cards, it hits the top. But there's the Crown. Hits right in the middle. This didn't take the top off. Didn't go after who they really want to go after. I think this was an outsider. I'm getting more, and the more I look at this, the more I think it's an outsider. Somebody definitely did it for money. Their whole strategy was to be money, and then also the world is in reverse. So that tells me he won't be exposed to the world. You know what's interesting? I don't have the King of Swords here, which I was looking for political. And so I'm not getting that this was political. This was something else. This was definitely something else. And I think there's, as much as, listen, as much as they say there's a, we want to find this person or the persons or whatever, um, they're actually worried that if they do expose who that person is, it will, I'm almost hearing like stand down, because we're worried, we're worried that people are going to become vigilantes. Stand down. There might be that kind of component in this. There's going to be a lot of spin doctoring. Um, we almost might get things like, oh, he was just in our hands. Oh, he slipped away. Or, oh, we were so close. And, just like they've already announced, yeah, we have somebody in custody. No, that's not him. Oh, we have somebody else in custody. No, that's not him. I think we're going to hear a lot of that. I honestly do. who were who were the people that I'm not going to say that Charlie was attacking, because I don't believe he attacked anybody, but as a journalist, you with words, right? What did he say? Something, words that he possibly poked a little too hard. There's a couple of groups, right? I'm not getting this as political. Everyone's blaming the Democrats on this. I'm going to say the Democrats started the fire and got people all wound up. I do not believe that this is an inside job, meaning inside US politics. I think this is outside some kind of strategy. I think this is something from, there's a couple of groups that he started to poke in the chest. I'm not saying he's wrong. He has every right, is free speech, and he debated a lot of things. He never called names or, um, you know, said, he never called like schoolyard names of anybody. He would just point things out, point common sense things out, and it really upset somebody. I'm going to say that they are definitely from the Middle East area. And there's lots of factions in there. We've got Hamas, we got Muslim Brotherhood, we got Mossad, we've got who's that new group that just took over Syria? We've got a bunch like that. Um, and so perhaps that's why they don't want to light that fire right now politically. I don't think anyone's ever going to be taken to task. I think the person has left. They have definitely left. Um, I'm looking to see if there's any cards here that show if it was a group or one person. And I'm leaning towards a group. And I'm going to tell you why. Because we have a group card here, and not a very happy group of people. And we also have a group card here. So 5. So we have at least 5 people involved. And on this card, we have 5 people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And generally, the 10 of Cups usually has only 4. So I'm going to say there's 5 people involved. Also, this card here, the 4 of Pentacles, 4 plus 1 is 5. I'm going to say that there's 5 people involved. I'm going to stand by that. I'm going to say there's 5 people involved. And 3 of them made sure the person could get away. So whether that's the pilot, handlers, whatever. Actually, this card does have 5. 3 sticks, 4, 5. So yeah, I'm going to say there was 5 people involved. And I'm going to say for sure the person who's involved is gone. They're not in the United States. So, how in the world can they ever bring them to justice? Could take off to one of those rogue nations and just he lives under a veil. Changed his name, change who knows if that picture they've got is real. Could be a mask. Yeah, it looks, have a white man mask, but he's really a black man. And don't at me that you can Google that. Google that. And I think there was just a case recently of he was a black man who robbed liquor stores and whatnot, but he wore a white mask while he did it. And they caught him because he put his own glasses over top of the mask. So if you're going to do that, don't wear your regular glasses. Something's telling me to look at the bottom card. Strength. Oh, what I'm reading there is that people will find strength with each other. People will find strength in silence. This is actually going to strengthen people. And it's going to go on for a long time. It's so interesting because September 11th is today. And I think that this is going to be another marker. September 10th, September 11th. This is definitely, people are going to find strength in each other. And it's going to go on for a very long time. I think he's going to become a martyr. And soon it won't matter who did it. His voice will matter more. Because the person's gone. I don't think there's a chance to look for. And I think the FBI know that. And so I think that I think there's eventually there's going to be no interest in finding who it did because they know the person's gone. And plus they're worried about vigilantes against whatever race this person is who did it. Race, ethnicity, country, whatever his reasons are. Now, there was some interesting, people said, oh, there was bullet casings found that had something about trans rights and anti-fascists and whatnot. I'm going to say, I don't think that's what it is. And I'm going to tell you why. The high priestess is in reverse. The high priestess upright actually could be a transgender person, is that they are holding a secret that what you see is not what you get, kind of thing. And it's in reverse. So I'm going to say it really didn't have a lot to do with that. I think that's beside the magician here, I think they're trying to deflect from the real person who did it. All right. I think once you come to the conclusion that nobody will be charged with this, or the person they do isn't the real person, and the person who did it got away for their own reasons, and there was more than one, there was 5. My cards have shown me that a couple of times here. Focus on what message he was giving to the world. I know at this point we all want justice, absolutely. His family does, for those little girls, etc. But I think at some point we're going to pivot and just focus on what his message was, rather than trying to find a needle in a haystack. Will he ever? I don't think so. I don't think so, especially with this Queen of Swords in reverse. All right. Thank you very much for watching. God bless. the family and everyone who's been affected by this. Please take good care. Fare thee well.